So, I've been thinking about some things. Again, what separates me and my work from the rest of the world. Maybe not the world, but. So, where do we begin? So, I started riding when I was a young girl at age 5, 6. Been there, done that. Was eventing when I was 9. Jumping 3.5 foot courses by the time I was 11. By the time I was 16, I was jumping 5.5 foot courses in the junior jumper world. I had also successfully shown in training level eventing and up to second level dressage, all by the time I was 16 years old. I owned several horses, grew up on a farm, and then I found classical work when I was about, let's say, 1994, I think. That changed my life because now I had found a particular style of riding that worked on training the horses and solving problems and fixing balance issues instead of forcing, pushing, and all that type of stuff. We learned that the most important piece of training is to begin on the lunge line and to develop the horse's body properly before you get on it. So that was part of the protocol. I also learned how lateral work was more of a gymnastic exercise to improve certain limitations, balance issues, things that the horses were struggling with. So I was taught to counterbalance the imbalance in the horse's body to open up and alleviate certain pressures, lack of mobility, resistances, etc., etc., etc. So through the years, as I have cultivated my art and my work and my training modalities, I have since stayed true to these methodologies where, you counterbalance the imbalance, you teach the horse from the ground before you get on, you slowly add things like the bridle, the saddle, the rider, to introduce to a horse that's balanced, the next step, and then go from there. Throughout my career, which has been right around the corner 30 years, basically in less than 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, I'll have been a professional for 30 years, teaching and training, following this particular work. So I'm going to set my drink down. Nothing's changed. There's nothing new. Everything that I do comes from the old system of riding that was evolved through centuries, that riding masters tweaked and shifted and, readjusted for the times. The problem is I don't want to adjust for the times anymore. I want to stay true to the horses and what they need and their needs, to be able to educate people how to be subtle and how to appreciate and how to cultivate your horse's body in a manner that makes them feel good and happy and stay sound for a lifetime. I have, horses standing out in my field that are 25, 27, 28 years old. I mean, one that's 25 years old, that is still serviceable as a school horse and sound. I lost another one at the age of almost 29, which was with me for a fair portion of his life from 5 years old, that I maintained. Every horse that's come into my barn, every horse that's come through my hands, I have made their lives better. I have improved soundness. I have improved physical mobility. I have improved psychological issues. I have made their lives better for their humans. The times, even though everything is fast-paced around us, you can't train horses with speed. It takes a long time, and the ones that are damaged take even more time. So if you get a baby that you start that has really no damage, it goes along very smoothly. They're very innocent, and it's a clean slate. Stop. Stop. You take a horse that has had 3 months, 6 years of bad training, it's going to take a long time. Hey! Sometimes years to fix. Why are people trying to rush and cram and press and hold and these magnificent creatures who'll give you everything if you just learn how to stay out of the way and cultivate their body? It's like an investment. You know, if you want your car to last, you got to keep it. You got to keep it good. Change the oil, rotate your tires, make sure your tire's not low. Make sure all your gears are working properly. Keep things lubed up, etc., etc., etc. Horses are no different. If you don't start from a solid foundation where all 4 legs are supporting equal weight and you go and slam a rider on their back, let alone a saddle, you're creating problems in the musculoskeletal system, in the joints, in the ligaments, in the brain. And now these horses are deemed bad, stop, or dangerous, or whatever the case may be, and the humans have created it. There's really no bad horse out there. And then not to say that humans are bad either. Yeah, some are. You know, but some people just don't know. But it's like the knowledge is out there to better yourself and to be a good horseman. I don't know how people could be abusive to an animal who tries their hardest for them. The other thing is, you know, horses that spook and horses that act out. That's a cry for a balance issue that needs to be sorted out. Every horse that's come in my life, every horse that has come in my life has had a balance issue that I had to fix. When I fixed the balance issue, the behavioral issue went away. This is common ground. We should understand these things. We should understand that if a horse comes to us or our horse is misbehaving, there's a balance issue going on. All horses are born crooked. I could go in on that. I have proof. I have old documentations of authors. I have pictures that a very famous artist drew of the horse, that you can point out the main underlying issue in all horses. We need to look a little bit deeper at how we're addressing and fixing these things. It's not easy. You know, but it's not hard if you learn these things, because then your horse is your best friend and you can trust them with your life. You really can. And I'm a knowledge seeker, and I'm always trying to better myself, and I'm always trying to improve the lives of the things around me, whatever it may be: dog, cat, horses, myself, humans, plants. So, you know, there's plenty of things out there for us to look into and seek, but you can read all the books you want and spend hours and hours reading a book, but until you practice, you're not going to get the results. And, you know, you have to put yourself in the hands of trusted people who are not ruining horses, who are actually helping horses. I hope in my lifetime that I can help enough people and enough horses that this legacy lives on, because it is a lost art. And in this day and age we live in, you know, people don't appreciate time-honored, long process, building, strengthening, structuring, being humble, looking at yourself in the mirror, listening to the horses and what they're saying to us, and understanding that this creature right here, if he's struggling with something or lashing out, leaning, falling, acting silly, it's because there's something going on in his body and it's not moving properly. It's not getting out of its own way. And if we sit upon it and stay in its way, we're never going to fix it. You can force it all you want, but in the end, you're going to get hurt. You're going to damage the horse. And what fun is that? I like to ride horses that I trust. I remember a long time ago, my trainer said to me, trust goes a long way. Because at the time I was riding a horse that was a rebel, and God forbid you let your guard down, and you better hang on. Because he was crafty, talented, athletic, fun as hell to ride. I learned a ton. Taught me to be the rider I am today, but not through force. I had to learn how to sort things out in his body so that we could break free of his resistances, because when he hit a resistance, he would try to, like, I don't even want to say the things that he would do, but I worked my bottom off to sort out my own personal issues to help him with his personal issues that he was struggling with physically. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to educate people of the lost art of horsemanship.